Despite there being 4 seasons in a year, K-pop and music in general has always had the biggest fascination with the warmest one of them all. And it should come as no surprise, seeing as there's just no other time that inspires artists quite like the summer. Trends will come and go, but the genre will continue to play host to a variety of upbeat and refreshing songs to liven up a poolside party or soundtrack a drive into the hazy sunset. In this video, we'll be celebrating the Earth's hottest season by counting down our picks for the top 10 K-pop summer songs of all time. Now, to qualify, the tracks must have a release date within May and August and have a distinctively summer theme. It's up to you to decide whether these choices are appropriate, but we're confident that they fit the bill. So without further ado, let's begin. An essential part of the summer is to enjoy some time off, as a brief respite from our responsibilities and all of the world's problems. As opposed to the ecstatic drinking and celebration, an equally important activity is to chill, to lay back and unwind. Songs that exemplify this sensation usually feature the ever-present guitar and minimalistic percussion, highlighted by tranquil melodies and enchanting lyrics. On the mellower and more muted side of the scale, you'll find Infinite's Once in a Summer, We Like to Party by Big Bang, and collaborative efforts like Sunny and Raina's A Midsummer Night's Sweetness, and more recently, Loco and Hwasa's Somebody. While these songs exude a state of pure relaxation, there are also songwriters who choose to inject a bit more fun and optimism into their tracks, as seen in the lurid zest of Astro's Breathless, the instrumental heft of Eric Nam's Can't Help Myself, or the resonant chorus in Ball Force Travel. Point is, there's no shortage of these songs out there, but the key to making a great summer hit lies in an infectious rhythm that gets its listeners nodding their head to the beat. In that regard, there's no song that better captures that coveted sense of carefree bliss than our number 10 pick, B1A4's Solo Day. Hardly anything portrays nonchalance better than the opening refrain, a whistled hook which previews the song's exemplary climax. The ebullient verses harness a compelling energy, bouncing along as a swirl of synth builds into that irresistibly catchy chorus where you just can't help but sing along. The song's final segment further elevates the catharsis with its beautifully layered production and vocal blend. Rather than opting for an over-the-top conclusion, the members deliver one last hook which ends the song on an incredible high. Solo Day is a gold standard execution of the lazy summer concept, effortlessly setting the scene of one feeling the cool breeze on their skin while cruising down the highway. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we have songs that crank it up to 11, where nothing is held back and the bombast goes through the roof. For the number 9 spot, we're looking at boy groups to deliver the brunt of the attack, and bring that unmistakable vitality which gets the blood flowing at a party. It seems that brass instrumentation paired with a groovy bassline or stark percussion is the go-to sound that always makes for an effective mood lifter. There's the utterly obscure 4-man band Dick Punks who delivered a potent summer jam with Let's Play in the Han River, and the lesser known Up Tension with a jubilant hit of their own in 2016's Tonight. Golden Child turned up the heat in their sun-kissed and endlessly playful anthem Let Me, and this May's Candy Sugar Pop represented a brilliant return to form for Astro, as they harkened back to their roots for a buoyant, synth-laced banger. While these songs are all fantastic in their own right, this next track manages to out-hype its competition by virtue of its sheer insanity. 17's Very Nice. Right from the start, Very Nice establishes itself as a song that's been completely let off the hook, unleashing explosive vocals underscored by a pounding instrumental. This strong plowing motion fluently streamlines into the chorus, where we're met with a frankly ridiculous beat drop. A first-time listener might be taken aback by this jarring and almost comedic arrangement, but the impact is undeniable. The energy stays at a maximum level for the entirety of the track, reaffirming its unstoppable forcefulness beyond the earth-shattering chorus. A piece of pure pandemonium that proves too powerful to ignore. In just their second year in the game, the team of 13 produced an exceptional work fit for the craziest of dance floors. After the boy groups, it's now time for their female counterparts to bring some mindless fun to the table. The ladies will tend to be less assertive in their delivery, but what truly matters is the attitude and verve. Girls' Day threw it back for 2014's Darling, offering an old-fashioned but undoubtedly distinctive pop production. Minx, who would later go on to become Dreamcatcher, provided an absolute blast of a summer song in Love Shake, a track whose repute can only be described as esoteric. K-pop royalty Girls' Generation have also had their share of notable hits like 2015's animated and sometimes quirky Party and their second most recent comeback, Holiday. Jump forward a bit and we'll discover outstanding releases like G-Friend's Sunny Summer, Wikimiki's Tiki Taka, Oh My Girl's Dun Dun Dance, and coming in at number 8, Brave Girls' Chimat Param. Opening with a spectacularly rejuvenating brass flourish, coupled with a pulsing synth beat and soaring vocals, instantly made this one of the most stirring intros of last year. The rest of the song proceeds at a rapid pace, barely taking a moment to breathe before it barrels into the emphatic chorus. While Rollin' was the song that catalyzed Brave Girls' unexpected climb to prominence, Chimat Param showed that they were here to stay. The song improves upon its predecessor with a hard-hitting rhythm that has only gotten stronger with time, lending to an already impressive sense of longevity. Every year needs a definitive summer mega hit, and Brave Girls were up to the task in 2021, crafting a bona fide title track perfect for any exciting occasion. Next we turn to an artist who has undoubtedly left their mark on the subgenre of K-pop, often harnessing the power of edgy experimentation to create a sound that sets them apart from the crowd. The duality of Red Velvet's namesake pretty much calls for one half of their discography to be allocated for producing cheerful and optimistic tracks, and they've sown the seeds from the very start by debuting with the awe-inspiring carnival that is Happiness, a fitting introduction to their brighter musical side. Since then, we've gotten two more definitive summer singles in 2018's Power Up and the following year's Oompa Oompa, both excellent mood lifters with sunny melodies and that never stray too far from the group's trademark playful and eccentric qualities. In addition, B-sides like You Better Know and Sunny Side Up are packed with luscious production, making for equally great tunes for the season. But you've probably already guessed what our choice is though, and you'd be right. Number 7, Red Flavor. Summer songs don't get more avant-garde than this, from the distorted repetition of the song's name acting as a bizarre but memorable instrumental motif to the frantic percussion combined with a dizzying music video. The track almost seems like it's trying so many things that it's doomed to sound too jumbled and chaotic to work. Yet this disorderly mix of instruments has never been more compelling in conjunction with the members' voices. The chorus is where we get a taste of the girls' exquisite vocal blend, and it's hard not to feel revitalized after hearing such a melody sang in total unison. Red Flavor's production is dynamic and zippy, constantly shifting in a way where you never know what's coming next, and this unpredictability is what shapes the truly unique listening experience of an inescapably quintessential summer hit. Perhaps the best way of channeling the exuberance of summertime in the most flamboyant manner is the use of a beat drop. This musical element often helps to deliver a quick burst of exhilaration, and can come in many forms, whether it's the lush and sultry soundscape of G-Friend's Fever, or how 80s put their own twist on the trope with their signature chanting in Wave. Tropical pop was so ubiquitous from 2017 onwards, to the point that its mere adoption would run the risk of the song becoming generic and derivative. That is why the best examples of this technique are always those built around robust melodies, with the beat drop just serving as an invigorating centerpiece surrounded by, in some case, even better supporting features. Akmu's Dinosaur is a track driven by stellar electronic sounds and ethereal vocals, while a modern classic like Uju Sonya's Boogie Up succeeds with its fast-paced verses and relentless excitement, despite a relatively simple chorus. However, when it comes to songs with this design, there's one that takes the crown for its otherworldly composition, functioning as a supreme point of reference for anyone who might explore this style. On and Off's Complete. The song's intro plays like a pristine beam of sunshine as it prepares for takeoff, while its verses and pre-chorus flaunt a vibrant array of sounds that complement each other to a T. For a track of this category, there's arguably nothing more important than the ascension towards the top, and Complete achieves this with flying colors via its impeccable build, pummeling towards an exotic beat drop that sounds like no other. The innovative vocal effects provide a sharp jolt of energy, and just when you think it's over, the chorus attacks again with a flurry of guitar and saxophone, capping off a beautifully idiosyncratic two-parter of a climax. Complete is a high-octane adrenaline rush from start to finish, demonstrating the importance of good production when fashioning a popular concept. So far, we've only given recognition to title tracks, but apart from the promotional stages and music videos, therein lies a wealth of phenomenal B-sides that are perfect for the season, and we thought we'd dedicate an entire category to shining light on these hidden treasures. These songs can be quite diverse in essence, with some relying on a sleek and propulsive beat to drive home its enthusiasm, a la Beast's Dance With You and Itzy's It's Summer, while others may will its listeners to assume a positive attitude through an incredibly effectual feel-good vibe, like in Henry's Holiday or NCT Dream's My Page. Twice, on the other hand, experienced yet another tonal shift in last year's Taste of Love, but posting strong efforts like Scandal and Baby Blue Love was not only proof that they could tackle any genre they wanted, but the retro touch of these releases also puts them nicely in line with a groovy track like Fever by Brave Girls. We're even tempted to include Oh My Girl's Dolphin on account of its catchiness alone, despite it coming out at the tail end of April, though 2019's Tropical Love serves as a competent if inferior substitute. Nonetheless, there's one B-side that goes above and beyond, making a song that's equal parts majestic and spectacular. ATEEZ's Utopia. The song starts off by lulling us into its magnificent dreamscape, courtesy of the members' heavenly vocals and an unembellished guitar riff. The verses flow smooth as silk with the aid of a thumping beat, while the monumental pre-chorus is headlined by earth-shattering belts and a palpable sense of tension. Tell me the truth, oh Lord, yeah. All of this is in service to a wonderfully gripping chorus, and the undeniable rush of adrenaline that comes with that tremendous hook. The song's production is not overly complex, it is in fact quite understated at times, but it succeeds by letting the singing do the bulk of the work, in a staggering showcase of the group's talents. Utopia is a sensation that goes all out and never lets up, contributing to its status as one of the most stirring summer album tracks of all time. After that, we're examining a more traditional type of pop song, particularly that which makes use of synthesizers as their main propellant to create a brisk and upbeat arrangement. There's just something about these electronically generated sounds that can be anything from brooding to shrill that so flawlessly encapsulates the kaleidoscope of emotions associated with summertime. These tracks might be straightforward in their structure, but they're far from standard in execution. We admire the crackling funkiness of Boyfriend's incessantly rambunctious love style, and in a rare instance of Vex shedding their darker colors, they delivered an uncharacteristically jolly tune in GR8U that's not any less heavy-hitting than the grandiose and theatrical pieces that they're known for. Other groups like Halo and 100% also released some addictive tracks in 2014, those being Fever and Summer Hero respectively. IU and Fiesta Sea of Moonlight came very close with its crystalline instrumental and contagious jubilation, certainly giving our selection a run for its money. And as much as we love the blazing production of FX's Hot Summer and the riveting performances of G-Friend's Navalera, it's AOA's Heart Attack that takes the number 4 spot.
Rave sound. Yeah.
Produced by Brave Brothers, this Ace of Angels masterpiece is a non-stop barrage of razor-sharp hooks and scorching synth lines that can practically make one sweat just by listening. We think you'd be hard-pressed to find a song that turns the temperature up quite as high as this one, making it a must-play in the sweltering heat, whether you're at the seaside or on a sports ground. The song's instrumental surges forward with electrifying intensity, zipping and zooming every way to forge a sense of explosive excitement guided by its continuous momentum. Harsh and abrasive, yet at the same time polished and velvety, Heart Attack is taut, cohesive, brilliantly written, gorgeously layered, and to put it simply, made for the summer. Music moves us because it is inevitably tied to valuable memories, in a way that hearing a song from a certain time in your life can invoke a vivid flashback to the past, and most summer songs ultimately capitalize on the appeal and fascination of remembrance. Everybody has numbers that they hold dearly from their different experiences, but even more impressive are tracks that can make you long for bygone days without even having listened to them before. Sunmi does a great job of depicting a trance-like reverie in Heartburn with her alluring vocal tone paired with a wistful chord progression, whereas the soulful and fervent nature of UNVS's Sandcastle and Summer Dream by Alice, formerly known as Elris, are also solidly evocative. Sean's Way Back Home, albeit unoriginal, accomplishes much the same as an opus like Atlantis Princess by Boa, which takes you back to an affectionate place in time with its soothing melody and reverberating rhythm. Besides, it's pretty much impossible not to be dewy-eyed when hearing A-Pink's Remember. I mean, it is in the title after all. But our pick is unbeatable in this aspect, for it remains an indelible part of K-pop history, while simultaneously being a stellar summer anthem that's bursting with nostalgia. Standing in third place, G-Friend, Me Gustas Tu. The group's sophomore single expanded on the template they had established since debut, and more or less cemented their status as rookies that were set for stardom. Much like Glass Beat before it, Me Gustas Tu has all the hallmarks of an exceptional G-Friend track, but it amps up the ardor by opening with a thrilling amalgamation of delicate keys contrasted by the uncompromising electric guitar and hard-hitting percussion, topped off with a consummate flourish of strings. With a distinguished melody and impeccable production, backed by the girls' marvelous vocal performances and some breathtaking power notes by Yuju during the bridge, every second of this song is pure pop nirvana. A truly magical masterpiece that goes so far beyond just spraying each other down with a garden hose in the backyard to cool off from the heat waves. It takes that feeling of summer bliss to an idyllic level, serving as the perfect soundtrack for reminiscing about those halcyon days. A list like this wouldn't be complete without Sistar, a name that's practically synonymous with the season itself. With such a decorated catalogue of beachside bops, these summer mainstays deserve to be in a class of their own. So Cool was the first in a long line of chart-topping hits for them, a glamorous electro-pop affair that set the tone before they tempered the synthesized bubblegum for an elegant display of the group's remarkable versatility in Give It To Me. 2014 gave us the sublime carnival of Touch My Body, preceded by the late summer follow-up of the highly underrated I Swear. And who can forget the frisky and ostentatious Shake It. Hyun's solo releases, on the other hand, honor her group's esteemed legacy with the 2018 1-2 punch of CC and Bae, both breezy, bombastic, and a hell of a good time. With such an expansive repertoire of summer anthems, it's hard to narrow it down to only one, but this next song just so perfectly captures the joy of the season, and elicits those emotions of going on vacation and basking in the sun. Our runner-up goes to the legendary quartet's greatest hit, 2012's Loving You.
S-I-S-P-A-R Sister. S-I-S Sister.
The track makes its presence known through a colourful mix of instrumentation, from nimble guitar riffs to stabs of shrill brass and ecstatic synths, painting the production as a spirited melting pot of a summer song's essential elements. The accompanying melody gracefully ascends, imbuing the composition with increasing amounts of happiness, one verse at a time. In the cathartic release of tension, the brunt of the chorus crashes just like the waves of the ocean, holding nothing back as the unbelievably satisfying hook takes over, as if one is being swallowed by the foaming tide. Rarely has a song managed to possess such an overwhelming feeling of rapture and elation in a single line, but Loving You pulls it off in style. More than a decade later, Loving You is still as fresh a tune as ever, acting as an immaculate distillation of Sistar's musical prowess, complete with one of the most glee-inducing and infectious refrains ever penned. Finally, we get to a genre that's perhaps most fitting for the summer, songs that are designed to be played at parties, raves and festivals, with the volume turned up to the max and the bass boosted beyond recognition. We're of course talking about EDM. This description alone encompasses a wide range of sounds, from the crisp and invigorating beat drops of future bass in Shine Forever, Singing in the Rain, All Day All Night, Voices, Stylish, Euphoria, to the hints of Moomaton in tracks like Kashina, Ola Ola, and Rumor, just to name a few. The aforementioned tropical pop also has much to offer, as seen in What's My Name and Ride on the Wind, but you can always go unbridled electronic like in Beautiful Night or Boombayah. As you can probably tell by now, the offshoots from this style of music are plentiful to say the least, but arguably when it comes to ubiquity and importance, Deep House is second to none, and there's a lot of great offerings from this subgenre. BTS's Save Me sounds just as lively today as it did 6 years ago, as does Luna's Free Somebody. Exit's Cream is irresistibly tantalizing, Switch and Summer 127 by NCT 127 are both considerable jams, Shiny's Good Evening was regrettably poignant but worthwhile, and as much as we love Four Walls, we're forced to admit it because it came out in October. However, there is a song that preceded the release of Four Walls, landing itself squarely at the dawn of summer, one that ushered the trend of house music into the K-pop world while also being the best to ever do it. The reason why FX and so many others chose to adopt this style was because it just works so well. And that's all thanks to this pioneer, the trailblazer who paved the way, and our number one pick, Shiny's View. The song establishes its sense of build right from the get-go, as more and more elements seamlessly enter the fray to create a production that's endlessly dynamic, expertly layered, and smooth as hell. When we arrive at the pre-chorus, a literal whirlpool of sounds emerge from the depths, all revving up to generate a build so immense and palpable until it eventually reaches its breaking point. The chorus hits with one of the darkest and grimiest of bass lines ever conceived, exuding the vibe of clubbing in the wee hours of the night. That in combination with Shiny's pristine vocal blend and a mind-numbingly simple but oh so unforgettable hook demonstrates the masterclass of songwriting at play. By its divine composition, what makes View such a good summer song is that it just succeeds no matter the occasion. Whether you're coasting down an open road, partying hard atop a building, hysterically cavorting on the dance floor, or diving in the pool to evade the heat, you can never go wrong with this track. The song ebbs and flows with pinpoint precision, and is an utterly refreshing piece with a perfectly crafted melody, adding another flawless entry to Shiny's diverse discography. In classic SM Town fashion, the industry giant experimented with a Western-influenced sound, only for it to become an unavoidable trend in K-pop. But then again, no one has yet to do it quite as right as View, and that's why it's our pick for the greatest summer song of all time. If you've watched till this point, I can't thank you enough for your support. This video took way too long to make. Heck, it's not even summer anymore. What's your favorite K-pop summer song?
Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, but that's it for now, and I'll see you later.